Hey everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 easy vegan recipes that are perfect for a summer picnic, a potluck, or if you just want to have an easy dinner with your family and or friends and or by yourself. I guess you can eat by yourself too. Anyways, today we're going to start off with a pineapple coleslaw, then we're going to move on to make a vegan macaroni salad, and we're going to finish things off on a sweet note with some blueberry crumble bars. So if any or all of that sounds good to you, let's get on to the recipes. So like I said, first up we're going to be making a pineapple coleslaw. Ingredients are super simple, like always. First things first, we're going to need some shredded cabbage. I used about half of a head of a medium-sized green cabbage and just shredded on my mandolin. Next we're going to need some carrots, diced red onion, some diced jalapenos, and I removed the seeds so this isn't spicy, but you can keep some of the seeds in if you do want it to be spicy still. We're also going to need some cilantro and around 2 cups of diced ripe pineapple. You want your pineapple to be nice and ripe and juicy because we're not going to be adding any other sugar to this recipe, so it's all from the pineapple. We're also going to add some lime juice and some white vinegar for some acidity. Top it off with some salt and then mix everything together. And just like any other coleslaw, this does get better with time. So after you mix it, I would let it sit for at least 3 hours, preferably overnight in the fridge, and the flavors will really develop and meld together a lot more and become super, super tasty. I love this coleslaw on its own. I think it's absolutely delicious, but you could also serve it with veggie burgers, veggie dog, or even with some pulled barbecue jackfruit. Next up, we're going to be making a classic macaroni salad, but obviously this version is going to be vegan. So first up, we're going to be making the quote-unquote dressing for the salad, and we're going to be using some soaked cashews, some nutritional yeast, and some lemon juice. And all of these ingredients are to replace the quote-unquote mayonnaise that is typically in the recipe, but we're just making our own cashew mayo. We're also going to add some salt and some agave nectar to sweeten it up. Typically this recipe uses sugar, but I wanted to use agave nectar instead. We're also going to be adding some mustard because mustard is life and also key to a good macaroni salad. And just some water to help thin things out. So then you're just going to blend that up and it's going to form this thick, creamy dressing that we're going to be putting on top of our noodles. So for our noodles, I'm using elbow macaroni. I'm actually using a chickpea pasta, but you could use any pasta you would like. It is a macaroni salad, so you should probably use macaroni. I guess you can use another shape if you want. But anyways, for our veggies, we're going to be using some diced red onion again, as well as some diced red pepper, diced green pepper, diced celery, and last but not least, some shredded carrots. Then we're going to pour all the dressing in, and it may look like a lot, but the pasta will actually absorb a lot of it. And we're also going to add a touch of black pepper. Then we're just going to mix everything together until the noodles are well coated. And like the coleslaw, the flavors for this do get better with time. So if you can, I would recommend that you let it sit for a few hours before serving. And I would also recommend that you serve it chilled. But once you're ready, scoop it into a bowl and you have some creamy noodles with a tiny touch of veggies, which I guess makes this a salad, or an American salad at least. Either way, it's really, really freaking delicious. Last but not least, we gotta have dessert, so we're going to be making some blueberry crumble bars. And the cool thing about crumble bars is that the base and the crumb topping are actually the same. And ours is going to be gluten-free, so we're going to use some rolled oats, some almond flour, some tapioca starch, a little bit of baking powder, and some salt. And then we're just going to mix that together until everything is evenly incorporated. Then we're going to add in our wet ingredients, which is some maple syrup and some almond butter. You could also use another nut butter of choice. Just make sure you use a natural nut butter. You want it to be nice and runny, and the only ingredient should really be nuts and salt. So as you can see, once you mix everything together, the dough will be pretty thick, but we're going to set that aside for a second while we work on our blueberry filling. So I am using fresh blueberries for this recipe. You could also do it with frozen, though it will take a little bit longer to cook because they usually release more liquid. Anyways, we're also going to be adding some maple syrup, some lemon juice, some vanilla extract, and a tablespoon of tapioca flour to a pot. The tapioca flour is going to help it thicken, and then we're just going to stir everything, bring this up to a boil, and then simmer it and stir pretty frequently just so nothing burns or sticks to the bottom of the pan for about 3 to 5 minutes. Eventually the blueberries will start to pop and you'll see the tapioca starch start to quote unquote like activate, I guess, and it will become a lot thicker, sort of like a jam. And keep in mind that this is going to bake in the oven again, and it will also thicken as it cools. You just want most of the blueberries to have popped and then you're good to go. So you're going to line or grease an 8x8 pan with parchment paper and put about half of the dough that we made into the bottom of the pan. Just press it into the pan with your fingers. You want it to be nice and thick and even. Then after that, we're going to pour our blueberry filling in. And as you can see, mine is still kind of runny, but it thickened up completely fine in the oven. You just shake it around with your hands just to make sure it's spread out evenly across the pan. And then we're going to put the rest of our dough on as a crumb topping. So I'm just using my fingers, as you can see, to sort of crumble it and let it fall into the pan, and just make sure you have a nice even coating across everything. And then once you've used up all your dough, you can go ahead and pop these babies into the oven. And after about 25 to 30 minutes, they'll come out looking something like this, with a nice crispy, crunchy crumb topping, thick blueberry layer, and a nice buttery shortbread-ish base as well. So you do want to let these cool completely before you cut them. It just sort of allows the jam to sit for a bit, but afterwards you have lovely little blueberry squares of deliciousness. This is a perfect summer dessert, and also if you don't have blueberries on hand, you could totally use another berry as well. You do you. And there you have it, guys. Let me know in the comments below which recipe looked the best to you and which one you want to make first. I think they're all perfect for summer, but I mean, they're pretty good any time of year too. I just feel like the classic macaroni salad, when I made that recipe and ate some of that, I was like, this tastes like the potlucks of my childhood that I used to go to. But I don't know, maybe if you're not American, it'll probably sound really weird to you because there's no lettuce in it at all, but I feel like it's a very classic American dish. But anyways, if you like this video and you're new to my channel, and you like what you see here, feel free to hit that little subscribe button right down there. I post 2 new videos every single week. And other than that, you can give this video a like too. I mean, if you liked it, I guess. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.